Welcome to NFL Daily, where it's always raining. I'm Greg Rosenthal here in Studio 5, Stage 5, I don't know what you call it, at NFL Network. And so lucky today to be joined by Cynthia Frelund for our weekly Man versus Machine, Man versus Model, the Rainmaker Reigns show of the week. I don't know.
I like all of it.
Let's review, Cynthia. Last week, if you were listening, we were both very effective, 2-1, each of us, okay? I got the Bucks and the Steelers right, barely lost on the Bills by like half a point. You got the Saints and your Lions right, and you lost on your Jets. And so what we do every week on this show, we pick our 3 favorite picks of the week. Why don't we start with you this week to feel a little luckier?
I have a question.
Yes.
This is a really important one.
Yes.
Are we allowed to do this for totals? Because I think there's one mispriced total.
Okay. You can do anything you want, Cynthia. The point is, I'm rooting for you. I want us both to have good records. I want to just have a better record than you.
Well, right now we're tied, so.
Yes, we're tied 2-1. That's a good start. Yeah, you can do totals.
Okay, so I'm looking at this Pittsburgh game, and I understand it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of points scored, but any way you slice it for me, it's going to be more than 36.5. In fact, in the model, in the machine, if you will, the number is more than 37 points in like something like 56% of simulations. I'm a conservative modeler. That is a high number for me. So I know it doesn't seem like a situation where you're gonna be like, hey, Broncos, Steelers, point fest, but you don't need it to be that much in order to hit that number.
Yes, I actually picked 18-12 in that game, and in my head, that was all field goals. 6 for the Steelers,
but what about
4 for the
touchdown?
Broncos.
There could easily be a defensive touchdown.
You could throw that in, but that makes sense.
And why would you root against fun?
I'm not rooting against it. That's just what I see. I'm on the Steelers this year. I had them as an under, but that is not one of my 3 picks. But I do think they're going to win. No,
lots of points.
It is not.
Lots of points.
Okay.
36.5.
So your first pick over 36.5 in Steelers Falcons. I like that. I'm going to go Titans +4 to start. If I'm going to pick them straight up, which I am doing, we did that on our show on NFL Network, which people should check out. That's up on Sunday mornings before game day morning. I might as well take them +4. It's as if week 1 never happened here. At least I think that's what this number looks like to me. What I saw from week 1 in the Titans, and tell me if you disagree, Cynthia, was a reborn running game, the 2 Callahans. Like they show up and suddenly there's cohesion. The offensive line looks good, run blocking. Tony Pollard has a ton of room and he's got a ton of juice. And I also saw a soft as hell Jets run defense. So at the very least, I think they keep it within 4 and they keep a low score, and it's a lot of ground game with Tajay Spears also in the mix. I think they can just win it straight up. So if you're into like going with the money line, that would be fun too. But for the sake of this show, Titans +4.
Okay, well, I think there's a completely mispriced line in Arizona. The Rams are not favored. The Rams are underdogs. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. There is no way. And so if I believe they're going to win straight up, why would I not believe that they're going to win if you're going to give me an extra point?
Okay.
Why not, right? So I think that the Rams, look, I understand that there are a lot of question marks in terms of injuries. The O-line has just been pretty decimated. But tell me who on that Cardinals team is going to get after a guy like Matthew Stafford who can disproportionately handle pressure, like to the point where, Matthew, I watched him in Detroit. He didn't have an O-line there either.
Right.
They were standing there. So, ultimately, I think this is something he's been like a finely tuned machine like me. Like I'm a finely tuned, whatever, to be able to handle this kind of thing. And they can run with Kyron Williams. They always run against this Cardinals team. Go look at that number. And Cooper Kupp, he's going to catch like 1 billion passes.
I love that. I picked them as well. They're not one of my picks, but yeah,
they're not one of your picks.
I mean, they're on my long list.
Good. That's fine because that means I get to have.
Yeah, I like that we don't have all the same picks. They're dangerous. Oh wait, they are one of my 3 picks. I'm gonna go off. I totally forgot. I like
good. Give people more.
But I get like the arguments against them because their defense, if they have a weakness, it's against the ground game. It's Kyler Murray. It's James Conner. It's Trey Benson actually got in the mix. But it matters to me that last year, the 2 games were not competitive at all. The Rams won these 2 by 40. So it's a division matchup where there's some familiarity there. I take it back. I actually will take the Rams as one of my picks. I'm going to go for my 3rd pick, Eagles, -6.5. Can Kirk Cousins play football still, like at a high level? Can he move?
Well, do you really want to ask that question against the Philadelphia defense? Because that's not even just like any old defense. That's a heck of a tough defense to make him, like, he didn't look, I mean, the Steelers is an awesome defense as well, but like, it was very different. The pistol, what was that? No play action, what was that? I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe a totally different game plan.
It's crazy to me that it would actually make sense to play Michael Penix, I think, early this season and wait till Kirk is healthy because he just showed he wasn't healthy. So when we're doing these picks, I'm mostly looking at the number, kind of like you, and just seeing if it's like a little bit off. But I do think early in the season, before we really know who's good, who's bad, you can get some funky numbers. And this is actually a high number, and yet I'm just trusting my eyes and saying you can't overreact to what happened with Kirk Cousins in week 1, and that they're going to have to show me that they're have a offense and a quarterback that's actually functional. At this point, I don't really believe it, and I don't think their defense is very good either. So give me Eagles minus 6.5.
Okay, so I'm staying with that same number, 6.5, and I'm going with a little bit of spice here because I think New Orleans keeps it closer than people expect. So I think New Orleans plus 6.5 points. Not straight. I don't have New Orleans winning straight up. I do think that the Cowboys are the winner of this matchup, but I think 6.5 is too high. I know that the Cowboys are playing at home, so that number's influenced by that. I did see what happened with both sides. However, we didn't really learn anything about a Mike Zimmer defense because they held the Browns to 54 total yards in the first half. So kind of the second half data totally skewed. And then on the same side, we didn't really learn anything about the Saints offense either because they were off to
come on. They put up 47.
But that's my point. We don't know what they're going to do when they're under duress because they're going to be under duress. 3 pressures. That's all of the number of pressures that Derek Carr faced. Micah Parsons is good for 3 pressures on his own, let alone. So my point is we saw that it's a good offense when the defense was giving them a lot of favorable looks, but we don't know what's happening. It's a remade OC, a remade situation here. So I'm not saying they're not good. I'm saying we just don't know who they are yet. We don't know
That's
their
why
identity.
I love the 6 points. I'm with you. I was debating coming into the studio, do I go Eagles minus 6.5 or do I go Saints plus 6 as my third pick?
You want to know something really funny?
Yes.
I actually had the same debate, and then you took it, and I was like, fine, I'll go with.
Because, okay, when you're thinking about these games early in the season, you're right, we don't know a lot about the Saints, and we don't know a lot about so just take points. Because here's what I feel like I do know about the Saints offense. They're better than a year ago. Because at no point last year did their running game ever open up holes like that.
Sure.
They played the Panthers twice last year. I know the Panthers defense might be worse last year, but they played some of the worst defense in the league last year. They never
Derek
did that.
Brown.
They never scored 9 straight times. They never protected Derek Carr that well. They are going to be better this year. And the Cowboys, that was a very strange game too. In the second half, they only had like 50 yards of offense. Like that half counts too when I look at their evaluation. I know they were playing against the Browns, so that gives me some concern. And maybe the Browns are just a total mess on offense. And so I look at this game and I'm just thinking it's relatively low scoring and it's going to be a close game. And so give me the 6 points.
Yeah, I'm with you on all of that, except I do want to point out the NFL robbed us of something. Actually, it would actually be John Fossil that robbed us of something. I think Brandon Aubrey could have made that 71-yarder, and I'm mad that we didn't get to see him try. So if it ever happens again, just like let us see it because it's fun and exciting. It's a reason to love the NFL. A 71-yard, he could have made it.
It's wildly conservative not to like attempt that kick. Why not? Because you're so afraid of a kickoff return.